There are several monsters in Doctor Who that are notoriously difficult to bring back. Not because they weren't scary, but because of how definitively they were dealt with. Some of them met explosive ends, others were erased from time itself, and a few, like the Vervoids, were outright exterminated by the Doctor in a story that literally landed him in court, and yet loopholes abound. Even Big Finish has proven that no monster is ever truly gone. I mean, they've brought back the Voord, the Sycorax, the Vashta Nerada, but somehow they've never touched this particular botanical horror, and there's a massive oversight they missed that would make their return not only possible but inevitable. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're digging up some overgrown horror and asking why terror of the Vervoids might not be the last word in plant-based genocide. Let's refresh our memories. The Vervoids were artificially engineered humanoid plants created on Moga by a group of scientists aiming to develop a race of docile botanical servants. Naturally, as with all sci-fi lab-grown species, the Vervoids decided to take the Frankenstein route and opt for bloody rebellion. They viewed all animal life as a threat to their survival, and with a spore-driven biological imperative to cleanse, their revolution leaned more Little Shop of Horrors than Silent Greenhouse. The Sixth Doctor and Mel, stranded on the Hyperion 3, fought off the uprising with Vianesium, a substance that accelerated their photosynthesis, aging them to death in seconds. Brutal, yes. Effective, definitely. Final, not so fast. Now, Big Finish has brought back plenty of niche villains. They've dug up the Vashta Nerada, reintroduced the Sycorax, and even the Voord of all things got a return ticket. But the Vervoids, they've been left to rot. Or so it seems. Because buried in the lore of is one sinister little seed they've all missed. Professor Lasky's assistant, infected by Vervoid pollen. Sure, she was killed in the story, but what everyone forgot is that the infection doesn't have to die with the host. It stays in the system, dormant, waiting. Vervoid pollen isn't just a biological irritant. It could have been genetically weaponized to grow anywhere. It could have been engineered not just to alter DNA, but to lie in wait, to infect others long after the original host has perished. Maybe this is an unknown factor. So while the Doctor and Mel think they wiped out the Vervoids by fast-forwarding them into the grave, they forgot that the first seed had already taken root, and that seeds don't die. They wait. So let's spin the story forward. The infected assistant is buried on a remote colony world. She's given a small plot, forgotten by history, her death attributed to some vague contamination incident. Decades pass, the planet thrives, crops are grown, colonists expand their territories. Nobody remembers the Hyperion 3 or the incident with the Vervoids, but beneath the soil, something stirs. The pollen in her system has survived decomposition, its genetic structure partially fused with her dying cells. Now symbiotic, now evolving. First, it's just strange plant growth around her grave. Uncatalogued vines, oddly resistant to herbicides. Florists and biologists are intrigued. Botanists call it a miracle. The weeds spread slowly at first. They resist drought, adapt to climate. They mimic other flora. Eventually, they're everywhere. Then the mutations begin. Small things, gardeners complaining of allergies that won't go away, strange dreams of rustling voices, murmured songs that no one taught them. People begin growing things they shouldn't. Bark like skin, petals in the hairline, a taste for sunlight. Some vanish into the deeper woods. Others stay behind, starting gardening clubs that meet at night and speak in soft whispers about the coming bloom. The infection doesn't just alter the body, it mutates the mind. Unlike Lasky's assistant, these new hosts, well, they embrace the change. Their minds become intertwined with the Vervoid hive memory. They're not just victims, they're disciples. They cultivate the pods, they protect them, they feed them. And yes, they worship the Vervoids as the rightful heirs to a galaxy ruined by animals. By the time authorities realize what's happening, it's already too late. Entire regions have been overtaken by dense, twisted jungles filled with spores and vines. Communication is lost. Survey ships vanish. And then one day the pods burst. Out comes a new breed of Vervoid. No longer just crude humanoid plants in sparkly jumpsuits, but evolved apex flora. Bipedal only when they choose to be. Vines for limbs, petal-shrouded moors, pheromone-based communication, and roots that dig into flesh to control the nervous system. These aren't just survivors. They're the next stage of plant evolution. And they remember the Doctor, they remember genocide. They don't just want to destroy animal life, they want to supplant it. Colonies fall, worlds go dark. Human resistance collapses under the onslaught of an enemy that turns their own into loyal hybrids. The Vervoids are no longer a forgotten footnote from a courtroom drama. They're an environmental extinction event wrapped in a body horror nightmare. And just when it seems like all hope is lost, the Doctor arrives on the planet. But this time it's not as simple as aging them to death, because now they're not just plants. They're memories, they're infections, they're everywhere. And maybe, just maybe, one of the people he came with is already carrying the next seed. This is a perfect vehicle for a modern body horror story. Paranoia, infection, transformation. Picture people trying to fight off the vines as they grow under their skin. Families turning on each other when one member starts speaking in plant speak. Soldiers hesitating to shoot as former comrades sprout flowers from their mouths while whispering, "Join us." It's the Thing meets invasion of the Body Snatchers with a distinctly Whovian twist, and all of it was avoidable. If only someone had checked the soil. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.